Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the fifth edition of the LRL Season 6 Power Rankings. This time we're coming in after the results of Week 7 and 8. Let's get right into it. Previously, the number 6 team in the Power Rankings, now down to 8, is Prison Ball. They lost to the Trailer Park Boys by 12 and Sprink and Bink by 6, taking the record to 2 and 6. They're not playing all that bad, they're just not finding ways to win games at the time. Right now, they're 7th in field goal percentage, 7th in 3-point percentage, last in blocks and steals, and they're allowing the best 2-point percentage and field goal percentage. Again, not playing terribly, but just can't win. Haven't found a way to win. I'm going 0-2 again this week, dropping down to 2-6, tied for last in the standings. Moving on to Team 7, they're moving up from 8 to 7. The 15 Bulls got a win this week, taking their record to 2-6. They lost to the Nuggets 50 to 46, and they beat Three Piece Combo, completing the sweep, also winning 50 to 46. Both wins have come against Three Piece Combo, but overall this team is last in 2-point, 3-point, and field goal percentage. They're sixth in net rebounding, but they are leading the league in blocks per game. And Nick is averaging 28 points per game. I believe he's played 4 games now. So again, this team moving up. They got to win. Overall, there's not a ton to say about them. They're not all that great. It's going to take a miracle for them to get into the play-in at the 5 seed. But who knows? Anything could happen. They're only a game out of the play-in too. So it is possible. I just need to see more for this team to really have confidence in them doing that. Moving on to the number 6 spot is Three Piece Combo. They're dropping from 5 to 6 after going 0-2 this week, losing to the Bulls and losing to Sprink and Bink. Both very close games, just couldn't get it done. Overall, this team is last in assists. They're last in three-pointers made, and they're also last in opponent three-pointers made, meaning they do not hit many threes and they give up the most threes in most threes allowed. They're also allowing the highest opponent three-point percentage. So I think this is the real problem with this team is their lack of three-point shooting, and they give up a lot of threes in a game. Overall, this team's really middle of the pack in terms of field goal percentage, landing at 5th, and Lath is leading the league in rebounds per game at 15.17 per game. Really bad week for this team. They really needed to win one of the two, especially against the Bulls. But with, I believe there are 6 games yet to play, and they're sitting in the 5 seed in terms of standings. So there's still a lot that could happen. But right now, I have them at the 6th spot in the power rankings, thanks to their 0-2 week. Moving on to the 5 seed, the Trailer Park Boys are moving up. They went 1-1 this week. Their jump is helped by the 0-2 week by Three Piece Combo. But Trailer Park Boys did get a win. They beat Prison Ball 50 to 38, and they lost a close one to LRL EMT 50 to 47. This team is first in three-pointers made and second in three-point percentage. Overall, middle of the pack in terms of field goal percentage, landing at 4th. They are second in assists per game. And PJ, again, is having a great season. 26 points per game on 54, 44, 49 splits. Remember, that's 2-point, 3-point, and field goal percentage. And he's leading the league in three-point percentage. This team, really looking for the 5 seed right now in terms of the standings. They're sitting at the 6, but again, tied record. They just do not own the tiebreaker against Three Piece Combo. Still 6 games left to play. A lot could happen. So this 5 seed will be interesting moving forward. Moving on to the number 4 team in the power rankings. The Nuggets, they're dropping from 3 to 4 because of them going 1-1 and what we will see in the 3 spot looking ahead. They lost to the upset 50 to 32 and they beat the Bulls 50 to 46. Overall, this team is second in three-pointers made. They're second in steals. They are 6th in field goal percentage though, but they have the best opponent 2-point and field goal percentage, meaning they're allowing the worst opponent field goal percentage, if that makes sense. They're not allowing a lot of made shots. Really only dropping this week because of what the team in the 3 spot did, and they went 1-1. This team's looking to be a playoff team. I believe they're sitting at the 3 seed in the standings. But again, 6 games left to play. A lot could happen. This team could blow up, or they could go 6-0. This team is pretty volatile, like I've mentioned before, but they're playing well. So that's all I really have to say about this team. 4 spot in the standing or power rankings, 3 seed in the standings, 5-3 overall. That means LRL EMT is jumping up from 4-3 because they went 2-0 this week. They beat the upset and they beat Trailer Park Boys. And the upset, we'll talk about that game in a little bit. But overall, this team is first in 3-point percentage. They're second in net rebounding, third in opponent field goal percentage. And Tyler is maybe leading the MVP conversation at this point in time, averaging 30 points on 53, 42, 49 splits. I believe those key stats are some pretty good ones to be um, in terms of the top of the league in. First in 3-point percentage, we know that the 3 ball does a lot of damage, especially in this league. Second in net rebounding, they're getting more possessions than most of the teams they play, and they're playing good defense, allowing the third lowest opponent field goal percentage. Good week for this team. Good team. Third in the power rankings, I believe fourth in the standings. Moving on to number 2, Sprinkenbeek, no change here. They went 2-0, beating Prison Ball and 3-piece combo. Both 2 very close games, but they came out on top in both of them. Bryce has still yet to play, but this team is first in steals because Michael Cundiff is leading the league in steals. They're first in 2-point and field goal percentage, and they're also second in opponent field goal percentage. Again, some really great stats to lead in. Getting steals is limiting a team's possessions and getting more for yourself. Great field goal percentage and 2-point percentage for this team, and they're playing very good defense. This team, again, we said at the start of the season, their ceiling is to run it back and win the championship, and their floor is easily a playoff team. Again, I believe there is definitely a lot of season left with 6 games to play. I believe Bryce is returning in the upcoming games, so it'll be interesting to see how he transitions into the team. That leaves the upset staying at the number 1 spot, possibly a controversial take after they did go only 1-1 this week. They beat the Nuggets 50-32 and they got murdered by LRL EMT, but Keith did not play in that game. And that is the reason for keeping them at the number 1 spot. It is something to monitor. Keith has missed 2 games this season. So if he misses a playoff game, that could be pretty huge to this team. Overall, they're second in 2-point percentage and 3-point percentage, or second in 2-point percentage, third in field goal percentage, first in net rebound, but they are allowing the second highest opponent field goal percentage per game. So like I was saying earlier, they're shooting efficiently, they're grabbing more rebounds than the other team, but they are allowing a pretty high field goal percentage, and I think that could be the concern of this team. The 2 biggest concerns are on these key stats: Keith missing a game and the opponent field goal percentage. But they're staying at 1. I still believe they're the best team in the league at the current moment, and they're looking to land the number 1 seed. They are tied in the standings with Sprinkenmink, but I believe they have the tiebreaker by points differential. So, looking for this team to make a run in the playoffs. Like I said, best team in the league currently. And so we'll see what happens in the rest of the season and into the playoffs. Thank you for watching this one. Please look out for next week, post week 10. Should be interesting. And I'll see you guys then.